Rule number 1,
BIOS.
always right. Rule number 2, nothing else matters because
BIOS
is always right.
Alright, let me react to the ML7 video.
I played Lifeweaver for
Alrighty, let's see what he is talking about. Oops.
10 hours, and here's what I think about him. Let's go in all modes. Let's go and here, and we have 10 hours played
Not
on
ML7.
him. I won 55 games. I played 55 games,
like one of the
29
top
games
support
won,
players.
26 games lost,
I'm literally listening to him,
53% win rate. When I first started playing him, when I
Let's see what
had
he's gonna say.
4 or 5 hours.
Basically, what I'm reacting to is it's basically about Lifeweaver and what he needs help in and some suggestions. Basically, like my video, but he's doing his own. Very interesting. Where is my volume? There we go. Alrighty.
On him, I had 36% win rate, and then I learned him a little bit, and now I have 53. I'm just gonna go through average per 10 minutes because these are important for this discussion. Average per 10 is 6.72, assists 13.08 per 10, deaths 3.23, which is really low, but these games have been played in quick play, so keep this in mind. So the important stats that I want to cover are these two. Are hero damage done and healing done, because he does on average in 10 hours of playing him less than 2,000 damage per 10 and less than 7,000 healing per 10.
Sounds accurate.
Now I'm just gonna keep the tab here, and of course I have a bunch of hours and
even lower
thus
than that.
more experience on the other support heroes, but I just want to go through all of the other support heroes and compare the damage, compare the deaths, compare healing done as well. So let's go. So for Lifeweaver, we have 3.23 deaths, 2,000 hero damage, and 6.6k healing. Let's see for Ana. Okay, for Ana, we have 4.73. Obviously, she's a little bit easier to kill, I mean. Hero damage 3.1k, and healing done 9.
What did he say? Why are my captions never proper on freaking PC? I don't get it.
Healing. Let's see for Ana. Okay, for Ana, we have 4.73. Obviously, she's a little bit easier to kill, I mean. Hero damage 3.1.
No, she's not. No, she's not. People do not push her when they should. And she, like, has so much to escape from. She's not easy to kill. Hey, she's not easier to kill than Lifeweaver. Lifeweaver is the easiest support to kill in the game. If you want to compare him to easy to kill, you could say Zen. But with Zen with his kick now and stuff like that, no.
K and healing done 9.4. So Lifeweaver does less damage than Ana and less healing than Ana. In like a bunch of hours from an experienced Ana player. Let's continue with the other heroes though. Baptiste does 4.6k damage per 10, 11.5 healing. Okay, and that's whatever. Actually, I'm gonna exclude that from this. I don't think it's relevant because these stats are from competitive. Of course, I'm gonna die way more than in quick play. So 4.6k damage for Baptiste average and 11.5k healing. So still Baptiste does more damage and more healing. Let's try out Brig. Brig does 3.6k hero damage and 7.8k healing. So still more damage, more healing. Next, Kiriko. 3.4k damage, 8k healing. More damage, more healing. Lucio, 3.8k damage, healing, 6.7. I think Lifeweaver did 3.8 and 6.7. Lifeweaver did 2,000 and 6.6. So Lucio, my budget Lucio, does a little bit more healing and more damage than Lifeweaver. Mercy barely does damage. Mercy does more healing than him from my average games. Moira does a ton more damage and a ton more healing. And Zenyatta does 5.8k damage, which is triple almost the amount of damage that I did with Lifeweaver, and also does more healing. So, of course, you're gonna be like, you're more experienced on these heroes, you play them in ranked as well, but here's the thing. I think that no matter how much experience in the current state of Lifeweaver, considering his balanced state, I mean, I don't know if I can get better stats damage-wise or healing-wise on average. I think that literally he heals roughly the same amount as Zenyatta or as a Brick that can get her passive up in games, or as a Lucio, and damage-wise, he does more damage than Mercy, and I think that's it. I think maybe any other hero in the game, any other support in the game, can do more damage than Lifeweaver right now. So overall, what I'm trying to say after 10 hours of Lifeweaver, what we've been speculating at the beginning of this, he doesn't do that much healing, he doesn't do that much damage. So this means that if we want Lifeweaver to be a strong pick, he has to give us something that we cannot get from any other support in the support roster.
Is that not the utility?
And now let's go over the abilities and stuff. Let's go in the Heroes tab. So why would you pick Lifeweaver in his current state, considering that he doesn't do that much healing and that much damage? I think you pick him for two
I can do more damage versus Blaster for sure.
reasons. You pick him for the pull and for the life grip. Pull and life grip. Pull and pedal platform, I mean. My bad. Life grip and pedal platform. The names are confusing. It's still a new hero. So you do not pick him if you need damage or if you need healing. If your team needs a pull or a pedal platform to reposition, that's when you play him. Which heroes work best with this? How I can come up with the advantages? Which heroes don't work with this? This is gonna take a long time, but I feel like
the thing about it is that like you can do the same with Symmetra because Symmetra has TP. His pedal platform isn't a bad concept. It's still fun and useful in certain situations. Like you can quote unquote save teammates because like let's say if someone got slept next to me and I'm playing Symmetra and I put the TP next to them, they can't go through TP because they're asleep. Pedal platform, you just throw it under them and it lifts them up. So you have, saving potential and stuff like that. But I think what the issue is that he has, like, his stuff is such a long cooldown. His pedal platform is 10 seconds, I think, and his pull is 20 seconds. So it's like, compared to other abilities like Roadhog, Hook, Anna Sleep, Anna Anti-Nade, not Discord Orb, Slam and stuff like that. I can't think of other abilities right now. It's 3 a.m. But his ability to save is not that high. Give him mass res. Shut up. It's not that high. Because you can save someone from a Roadhog hook once, but you won't be able to keep, because like Roadhog will have his hook off of cooldown more often, and that's if they say he lands his hook all the time. So, Cassidy Nade, Echo Blaster, Genji dashes, Ash Fire, literally almost anything. Hanzo Storm Arrow, like you can probably save them from their ability 3-ish, 4-ish times, like if you're really, really trying, but they're gonna be plowing through your team. His healing can't keep up and his damage can't push them back. His saving potential is like it's just on a very long cooldown. And then if you want to buff it by reducing the cooldown, then he becomes broken. So it's like really weird.
Kind of like how when you think about picking Lucio, you're thinking about speed boosting teammates in. So you're gonna play with heroes that can benefit from going in. You're not gonna play Lucio with Widowmaker Hanzo. You know what I mean? Kind of like how you'd go with Mercy and you need a good damage boost target. You know what I mean? Now with Lifeweaver, you either pull one ally back to you once every 20 seconds, or you play with his pedal platform. I think that pulling somebody back on a 20-second cooldown, it's a very strong ability, and I'm afraid that if they buff this ability, we're not going to be having a fun time with him.
Right.
Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna be playing with Genji, Reaper, Winton, whatever, Doomfist, Reinhardt pinning in. And we're gonna have pull available, let's say, every 10 seconds, and that is unfun.
Yeah.
I do not think that they should work on buffing his life grip. I think the life grip is good as it is. They shouldn't change his life grip in the future. It's fine.
Really, what it is, it's a very simple. It's very, very simple of how they can like fix all of this and everything will be in line with Lifeweaver. Nerf all the heroes. Nerf everybody. Everybody is in such a strong state where it's just BS. BS is being thrown everywhere, everywhere. And then they do this little thing where they, instead of like, like fixing one shots and stuff, they give like with Roadhog and Sigma, they just leave you with 10 health. Yeah, you can save, but that's if your supports are on the ball. You know, oh, like me, I there's a hog. I'm going to be watching out for his hook, so I'm gonna be pocketing the person who I think he's gonna hook the most, or at least be in a position where I can be ready to pocket somebody to heal them when they get hooked because they'll be able to survive. But that doesn't really fix the issue. You still have high damage heroes like McCree, Sojourn, Soldier, Ashe, Genji, basically almost the entire DPS roster. And then you have near one-shotters, Sojourn, Roadhog, Sigma, Widowmaker, Hanzo. Like, the game would be so much better if they would like nerf the damage. Because the healing, I think, is fine. Nerf the damage in the game so that people aren't dying instantly left and right. And I think the game would be a lot healthier. Because Lifeweaver, with his low damage and and pretty much low healing and stuff, would be able to shine a little bit better because he's in line. His damage isn't out there. I think Discord should be removed too. Discord, and I hate to say it, but if they were to do that route, I think damage boost from Mercy would have to be changed to a different ability. Lucio speed boost would probably have to go as well. Kiriko should not have immortality on her Suzu. It should just be a cleanse, and they should definitely change her cleanse into her using her Fox more instead of her Fox just being in her ultimate. But anyway, let's continue.
20 seconds is fine. What it does is fine. Maybe quality of life changes to it, but I really think that, I hope they're not considering buffing his life grip in the future. Now, this being out of the way, I think that his pedal platform is his core strength. This being said, I don't think he needs buffs either. After playing with him for 10 hours, I do not think that his pedal platform needs buffs either. The reason why is because, let's be honest right now, I feel like, me included, everybody right now misses some pedal platform opportunities, both if you have a Lifeweaver in your team and if you have a Lifeweaver in the enemy team. And if you're playing Lifeweaver or you're not playing Lifeweaver, you have so much potential repositioning wise, using it as a shield, going on high ground and stuff, that it's just, it takes a long time to get used to what his kit does. Let's be honest right now, we've had Lifeweavers in our games that throw a pedal platform, and we all walk to the pedal platform, took it, and then dropped from it. Like, we got zero advantage out of that. Imagine you do the same thing with Lucio, you'd speed boost, and you wouldn't use the speed boost. It's the same thing. You throw a pedal platform, you don't use it, you just waste the cooldown. That's a wasted cooldown. Mm-hmm. So this is why one of the reasons after playing him for 10.
I'd like not to feel the need to attach myself to healers so much, to be honest. I was kind of thinking, compared to like other MOBAs and stuff, where everybody is in a set space. So like basically the reason why we're in 2-2-2 is because nobody was able to adapt to 3-3 to 2, what was it, 2 tanks, 1 DPS, and 3 supports, was it, or something? There was some sort of form meta that Blizzard was hoping that the community would adopt with 3 healers or something, but that never happened because everybody was like, 2-2-2 and 2-2-2 is meta, 2-2-2 is the best thing, that's the only thing that can work in this game. So they went with it. But because of that, the game is now a lot more team reliant. I feel like maybe in the past it wasn't really like that. Like, yeah, it was fresh and stuff, but I feel like there was more solo play potential, but they pushed towards more of team play. So I was thinking like maybe they shouldn't do that with some heroes, but then again, it would kind of possibly put them on the road to being broken as well, because if you have people that can just take care of themselves, right? and then you don't really need like a like. Well, technically they are already doing that. Like with tanks without a Zen, like there's no enemy Zen, right? Are doing everything. They have high health, you know, so they can survive a lot longer without heals. They do a lot of damage. Reinhardt can literally like charge into a team, hit his hammer two times on somebody and they're dead, or fire strike twice. Fire strike's hammer, and then he's like, you know, he has ultimate. He slams and he knows a team wipe. Junker Queen, her yell gives her overshield. She has a passive where bleed gives her health. Orisa has fortify. So they already kind of did that to give tanks a little bit more solo play potential and stuff like that. And DPS or DPS, so like whatever. So then I was thinking like, what would that look like for supports? Would it look like Moira, just being a Technoc Moira, running around and just, you know, sucking people and they're dead and they can't hit her and she's getting life? Like, would it look like that, or would it be something interesting? I don't really trust Blizzard to figure it out, but I do have a little hope because Lifeweaver came out pretty well. And I feel like they could have done the same thing for Sojourn when she was underpowered for what they're going to do to Lifeweaver, but people just don't take the time to just, you know, think about it like we're doing with Lifeweaver.
10 hours.
To, you know, get the balance proper.
Why I feel like they shouldn't change his pedal platform in the future, because I think that we're just not using it. Pedal platform and life grip are not the issue.
Let me get my water.
Now, are these two abilities worth picking him over his healing damage deficit compared to other heroes in the game?
No, he's not.
I don't know.
He's not.
Because
he's not. Basically, with the way that Lifeweaver is right now, you just run at him. He is the most easy to pressure hero in the game. You give him pressure, and he becomes useless, and he becomes a detriment to his team. He becomes forced to switch. If you give him space, he becomes fine. I've had games, you know, I'm not pushed too much. I'm able to escape and stuff like that. You know, it becomes, you know, a thing. And my team, my Mercy or whatever, you know, heals me to keep me alive. And, you know, he becomes okay. But if your tank and DPS are not doing their job, making space, making room, he is the first to go. He's sometimes even not worth even picking, because the game has already been set a certain way. We've already been playing a game this way. He's new. He's bringing something new to it, but it's not something that's necessarily needed. You know, he's not needed. You can swap off and do much better. He's not really adding much to the table. At least not yet. It will take months to figure it out, but as of right now, no.
his life grip is on a 20-second cooldown. It's only for one target, and pedal platform requires, I would say, probably 2, 3, 4 months of us having him in our games and completely getting value out of his pedal platform. They could buff his 3. They could decrease his ultimate charge time. Because let's be...
I think we should just add Furia. Yeah, let's just add a giant flaming spherical wall at people that stuns them in place so that she can come up and headshot them. Very, very healthy for Overwatch, per se. Yeah. She was cool, though. I'm getting a paladin's itch.
Let's be blunt here. His 3 is not that good of an ult, overall healing wise. It's not Transcendence, dude. It's not even Valkyrie. It's a weaker Baptiste shift. Literally. It's kind of like a stronger Baptiste shift than
a Baptiste shift description is a really good description for his ultimate. It is pretty much a Baptiste pulse. That's a good description, and his is on a 15-second cooldown.
Actually, it's like a Baptiste shift. Baptiste shift, but better. Because you can body block with it, you have an initial burst of healing if you're low, but that's it. Now, should they buff the healing from his ultimate? I wouldn't like that. Should they give extra effects to the ultimate? Maybe.
Effects?
I'd be okay with us getting reduced cooldown, maybe a small movement speed in it. It could be cool if you'd be able to, I don't know, increase the cooldowns of enemies, increase the reload time. I don't know. You could come up with other usages of it.
I don't think his ult should affect other people's abilities like making them longer, because his ult is good. His ult's good because it is an ult that you can play around, which means that it is balanced. It doesn't really need anything, in my opinion, except maybe a like I said in my video, a stronger boost of healing from 150 to 200, and the pulses increase from 50 to 80. It has its counterplay because of Ana can anti-nade it. You can destroy the tree and stuff like that. And also you can still fight in it. You don't have to move off of it, because we have quite a few abilities that make you get off of the point instead of having you think and playing around it, you know, and trying to make you use your brain. Torb, he just splooshes all over the area. Sigma, ults on point. Ramatra, same thing. Ash, Bob, throw Bob on point, you know, and everybody has to move. Hanzo, ult. Like, these things don't give you much room to play around, in a sense. His ultimate is fine. I think they should just buff the healing, because it'll really help allies who are low, and it will do better putting them up bringing them up 80 instead of 50, because he can actually have a chance to like spread his healing around and try to keep people alive.
But I don't think that they should work on his ultimate either. I think that in order for Lifeweaver to be very strong and for us to have a reason to pick him over any other support in the game and high rank games in the future when he's going to be available in ranked, I think that they need to change his healing and his damage. Now, should they do changes number-wise, like raw overall? Should he do more healing? Should he do more damage? No, I don't think that they should increase the values overall. I don't think that if you charge his healing, you should do 100 healing or 75 healing or 80 healing. I think healing-wise, they should do the following. They should get rid of his movement penalty when you charge your healing.
I agree.
They should maybe increase his ammo clip
his
healing. Okay, his magazine. Like, he has 12 petal blossoms, maybe make it 15 or 20. You know, maybe do that. They could also decrease reloads time of,
because he reloads so often, and that's also I wonder if ML7 will say it, but that's also because he uses up a charge when he cannot see an ally. Why? That makes no sense.
of his healing. Now moving on to his damage. Increase ammo clip size. Reduce the spread of his Thorn Valley. Maybe increase the damage by 1 or 2, because right now it does 3 damage, I think, against armor.
Pedaling back, but how would Bastion be affected if DPS was lowered across all heroes? What do you mean if Bastion be affected? Like, what would damage do to him? Like, how much damage output he would do, or what?
Armor targets and 5 damage body shots against with 1 pellet, so like that's 15 with the burst of 3 on non-armor targets. But lower spreads should be the first thing that they should be looking at, and then maybe increase the ammo size. After these changes, if he can keep up number-wise, if he can do more healing than Lucio or Zenyatta consistently, and roughly the same amount of damage as a good Lucio, I think he'll be played. I think that right now we're kind of like sleeping on how powerful he is. So I hope they're not going to give him a huge amount of buffs and then make sure that we're not gonna play him again by nerfing him into oblivion. So I hope that they're gonna be like tempered with how they're gonna address him, because as we've seen earlier from Aaron, he said that they have some performance that
I remember you said damage was too high and it's easy to get killed, so I wonder about Bastion's high DPS turret mode. Basically Bastion too high in the game. We'll talk about it after.
that over the weekend, and they should have details on balance changes, more than likely a buff sometime next week. So probably they're gonna buff him, and if they're not going to buff him, this is why I think they said buff, they're probably gonna do some quality of life changes to him, such as you do not have to weapon swap to be able to shoot/heal. It doesn't help with the fact
I think
that
they tweeted something
his
recently.
kit
We'll check on Twitter.
His key bindings are pretty difficult to use, and to know which are the right key bindings. You know, we explored a couple of days ago with our settings, and we just discovered that
What's the name of
right
the new
now this
Overwatch
is how our
guy?
settings look on him. I've never had a single hero in the game
Like
on which
Aaron
I've been changing
Keller,
settings
is that
so
his
much.
name?
He's very confusing with this. So secondary fire cancels primary fire should be on off. We should have a separate healing blossom and life grip sensitivity.
Hold on.
And to know which are the right key bindings. You know, we explored a couple of days ago with our settings, and we just discovered that right now this is how our settings look on him. I've never had a single hero in the game on which I've been changing settings so much. He's very confusing with this.
Same.
So secondary fire cancels primary fire should be on off. We should have a separate healing blossom and life grip sensitivity, because sometimes I want healing blossom at 100 and life grip I want it lower, because sometimes I pull the people that I don't want to pull because they're close to to each other. Secondary fire, this is changed. Next weapon is changed, and also I changed my cursor on him to show accuracy, because it is kind of tricky to get used to his muscle memory, to his kit overall, to his fluidity. So right now I have this cursor
Spend every moment
that shows accuracy. So if I have it like
So it's
this,
a bigger circle.
this shows healing if it's a tight spread, right? But if I swap to this, it shows damage. So for me, I know that this does damage and this does healing. Like if it's big, damage. If it's small, healing. This would be amazing. And also, yes, about one of the settings, we've actually had Blizzard Winter in chat. That has confirmed a couple of days ago that the team is looking at separating that sensitivity option. So this change, we know that will come in the future. They're going to split healing blossom sensitivity and life grip sensitivity. So right now I'm playing with default cursor, accuracy on, thickness 1. I don't know if these mean anything or not, but literally I just have accuracy on. Okay, settings wise, secondary fire cancels primary fire is set to off. And my current key bindings are this. My pedal platform is on scroll wheel down, because it's just more fluid for me, because I do not play with my middle finger on the mouse. I play like this. So if I want to throw the pedal platform, I just do this, because you can't shoot and throw the pedal platform at the same time. And next weapon is set to right click. Now, I'm excited to see what changes they're gonna make to him, because I think he's a very, very, very fun hero, and he brings mobility to his team differently to how we're used to. Like Lucio, right now you have two supports in your team in the support roster that can help your team reposition. And Lifeweaver being in a healthy state in the game, balance wise, I think is crucial for future metas and for how hyped the game will be. Because right now, if you want to reposition yourself, you pick Lucio, you speed boost teams in. Lifeweaver gives you an alternative with pedal platform and with life grip. And especially, I would say, for immobile tanks, not thinking about supports and DPS that you can peel for, I'm thinking for immobile tanks. With tanks that have a hard time getting high ground, such as Zarya, he could work really well. But with the amount of healing that he does right now, ain't no way. Ain't no way. No. Zarya, Orisa even, Roadhog even, Sigma, even Ramatra, bro, could work with him really well if his numbers get amped up. His neutral game after playing him for 10 hours feels very weak. What I'm saying with his neutral game is the amount of pressure that you can put on the enemies and or help your allies to put on the enemies without using your abilities or ultimate.
I try to definitely put pressure on the enemy with him, but they're just not scared. He does no damage. He's shooting literal peas at them. In
this case, he just stays somewhere, he shoots a little bit, not too much. You're not afraid of a life. Come on, Chad. Are you afraid of a Lifeweaver shooting you in the middle of the team fight? No, you're not. Whoa, hello. Nice, you're shooting at me. So you're supposed to spam shields. You're supposed to break the shield, break Torbjorn turret, which is very high. I sometimes I dump an entire ammo clip at a Torbjorn turret and I'm not killing it, dude. If it's really far away because of the big spread. or destroy sim turrets, or shoot the big tank, or shoot somebody that's not moving. So you're not that afraid of him. And healing wise, yes, you charge that burst of healing and stuff, but Zen can just put Yorb in spam. Zen can put Yorb in spam. Lucio can just exist in spam. Brig can just get her passive up. Like, the neutral overall is kind of weak for him. So if they increase the amount of pressure that he can put on the enemies or help his allies before the fight happens, instead of just tickling us, then that's another way of getting him up to speed to being a possible meta pick in the future. I'm just really excited to see what they're gonna do with him, because I really want him to be in the meta, because he will help a lot of heroes.
Stop talking about meta. Stop talking about meta. Just play the game.
That struggle to be played, or enable suboptimal team comps with the creativity of his kit. He's also an incredibly, and I have to stress on this, incredibly hard support to get the most value out of him. Your positioning has to be out of this world. You do not have a good escape. Your decision making has to be crisp. You can do so many actions at the same time. He's a super fun support to play.
He is fun
once you get the hang of his kit, but up until you get the hang of his kit, it takes a long time. You know, it just takes a long time. So I hope that he's gonna be played in the future. Please let me know what you think of Lifeweaver and if you agree with me or not. I'm Olaf. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. Meow.
Okay. So overall, not bad. Disagree on a few things, but overall, valid changes for him. I'm tired. But anyway, that's it. I was gonna react to something else, but I am on the verge of passing out. So, good night, y'all.